And we're back. Rock Lobster has grown since you saw him last. In fact, he just celebrated his 2nd birthday. But, he's coming along nicely. And I think it's about time for us to go ahead and try to shoot for the D rank. Now, I am going to run into one small problem. And it's a little bit complicated because I'm not careful. I can end up missing out on the opportunity to get an item very early in the game that otherwise I'll have to wait for a long time. And let's just say that Rock Lobster is not exactly a brain trust. So, yeah, cautionary discretion is the name of the game here. But we're going to press ahead anyway. Because I think he can handle it. I'm official D, grade D. Here we are, the official tournament, grade D. Who will survive the game this time? All young monster fans' eyes are glued to this battle. Then we're starting the game. Snek, let's win. You know, it kind of makes sense. There's a lot of fans who want to see young up-and-comers, and then there'll be those people who only really want to see established veterans. Rock Lobster's weakness is his accuracy. But you should be able to weather most any attack we encounter just fine, provided we don't run into some freakish one-stat wonder, like a really particularly troublesome golem. I think barring that, we should be just fine. And thankfully, we're early enough in the game where foolery is still a mechanic. By the end game of Monster Rancher 2, you will not see that, unlike Monster Rancher 1, where it queued up even in the Great Four tournaments. I believe by the time you're there, it's just assumed they're 100% loyal. I do have a new attack. In before, is this a joke? Implying that anyone but me cares about part 1. That's a rant for another time. That's 1 down and 4 to go. We're actually already seeing some new species as well. That little lemur-looking fella is a hopper, and we're going to raise one ourselves later on. Now, how much later pretty much hinges us on how long Rock Lobster makes it. This is pretty much an open and shut case, I think. I'll be honest, I like plants, but I've never raised one. Would you guys want to see that? You guys care about plants at all? I don't know if plants have a big fandom or not, but they've been in, I think, every game except maybe 3? I don't remember plants being in 3. I could be misremembering, though. It's been a while. Bonk. Those claws are just like huge wrenches, so even when he punches someone, it's just kind of a bonk sound in my head. Alright, Sarah Palmer, Ari Moa, and Milliam. And once again, special shout out to Marissa Blackwing for going out of her way to set up the entire roster of like combat monsters in episode 1. So, big thanks there. It was very enlightening to see what their names were phonetically written out and how the translation team handled it. Oof. Yeah, that could be dangerous. Pixies in the Bang Bang You're Dead school of sorcery can be incredibly dangerous because of their fast intelligence game. So the best thing we can do is stay close and wait for her to wear herself out a little bit. Ray and Mega Ray are some of their signature moves if you raise a bunch of pixies. That's good and annoying. You think that would put me like right up close to her having lunged like that, but whatever. She was a speedy opponent, but I only had to hit her once. Next is Capella, who, according to some comments I've seen, apparently is as infamous as Oakleyman is, but I don't remember this guy ever giving me any trouble. Of course, now that I've said that, and I'm recording, it means this guy is going to give me grief now. Or maybe not, but we'll see. I don't remember this guy being a big deal. So, if you guys have any stories on this guy, or like why he's as frustrating as Oakleyman, I'd really like to know. Like, maybe it's worse for speedsters, because, you know, speedsters only need to get luck-sacked one time, as Milliam just demonstrated for our sake. But I usually like being ahead of the power curve, so I'll usually overtrain my monster before I enter a certain rank. Or before I meaningfully participate in the rank, I should say. Bonk. Wow, that's stronger than I thought. Well, I mean, he's a giant lobster scorpion, so I mean, he's really only going to do a few things. But he's going to do those things exceedingly well. I actually don't know how the game resolves CPU versus CPU battles like that. I don't know if it's random or what. Really high accuracy, but as usual, we're not dodging anything, so... Yep, this guy is a Hopper. A breed unique to Monster Rancher 2 because it didn't appear before, and it does not appear after. And yet it's weirdly important. To unlock 3 different species, you have to raise at least one. So... yeah, kind of a thing. The biggest problem with monsters like Hare and Hopper, there's no good way to train power and speed at the same time. The heavy trainings just aren't really built for it. In fact, it really wasn't until, like, Monster Rancher Advance and Advance 2 where that became viable. Now, admittedly, depending on where you go, in Monster Rancher 3 there are some options for that kind of build. But Monster Ranchers 1 and 2, the heavy trainings are like exclusively tank and squishy wizard and nothing else. So if you're trying to do an unusual combination, like intelligence defense, for instance, which didn't even really become a thing until like Pancho, that was just it, and you just have to deal with the fact that you're going to have subpar growth your entire life. This is the end result of the tournament, which I might have over-prepared for. Here's the prize money. Its fame went up. Snek. I think Rock Lobster learned a lesson at this tournament. The lesson is punch things really, really hard. There's a skill went up, that's always good. That is literally the hardest thing for him to raise. Now, one thing, I didn't really stop to discuss the food options in this game, which I did a little bit in Monster Rancher 1, especially later on because of the meat exploit, so let me give you the rundown. Tablets are the perfect food. Even if your monster doesn't like them, which does somewhat mitigate their effect, it's still better than every other option. Now, some species have certain proclivities, like arrowheads and hangers, for example, all like tablets as a species thing, so they'll get the bonus from it. But the thrust of it is, tablet is just so good at fatigue and stress reduction, it doesn't really matter. Now, if you're on a budget, if money's tight, like you just bought the house upgrade or something and you're kind of poor, if they like fish or cup jelly, if they actually like the item, then it can be worth it to use it as a budget option. And we'll actually need to get into cup jellies a lot later on, but I'm not really going to talk about why right now. It's kind of dumb and really only makes sense if you're like an ant keeper. I'll get into that later. The long and short of it is tablet. Tablet all day, every day. It doesn't matter what you're raising, and it doesn't even matter if they like it. So, yeah. It's expensive, but it's worth it. And thankfully, Rock Lobster is one of those breeds that just likes them by species. so it actually works out pretty well for him. Who is it? Hello, it's an express mail from Ima. From Ima. Snek, this is it. I need your signature here. Oh, sorry. There you go. Good. Have a nice day. Here we go. Based on your performances, we grant you the rank mentioned on the right. Ima's authorized trainer rank. 2nd rank. You still have a long ways to go for master ranking. Let's keep on going. Rock Lobster seems well. So, we're coming along slowly but surely. And a lot more stuff is going to happen. And one of them is going to be the first expedition. Now, the thing that makes me worried is, like I said, we have a terrible stat loadout for expeditions. The only thing Rock Lobster could conceivably do is either lucksack the scenario, or just basically break down obstacles. But the problem is the first expedition map is not the actual expedition map going forward. You actually only visit that map once. And you'll see what I'm talking about later. So what we need to do right now is largely focus Rock Lobster towards the goal of just getting higher ranked. Ideally, I'd like to get him to A rank, but I'm not wealthy enough to use never tired methods, at least not consistently. I'm doing a modified sort of no rest, never tired, but he's resting about once every other month just to split the difference. And I actually learned very recently that resting is such a weird mechanic in Monster Rancher 2 because the values are based on the life phase that the monster is going through. And like I saw some numbers for it. It's the weirdest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. It really just shows like Monster Rancher has so much going on under the hood. It is very difficult to fully master every single conceivable mechanic in the context of the game. And as a cute thing I noticed right before the tournament, his like actually changed from fish to Snek. And this is just one of those things that can happen, and a lot of the time will. If you're taking really good care of your monster, that will typically happen. And yeah, we've been working really hard, especially getting that defense stat up, because if I cannot necessarily hit my enemy, I don't necessarily want them to hit me all that hard. So we're going to get back to training, and if the expedition comes, if I have to do something like raise a secondary monster in order to do the expedition, I might, because it might actually be worth it. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. So I'm just going to go ahead and save, and I will see you guys after the transition. Great, exciting tournament. It's a bit of an exaggeration. We're still only in C Cup. Snek, let's wait. Some of these guys we've seen before, and funny enough, Rock Geiger was actually our ally during the Ima Fimba Amity meet. Now, if this strategy looks somewhat familiar, it's because it's basically what I did with my Sneks in the last game. But that's okay. Rock Lobster excels at this. In fact, he routinely gets 20s on his defense training. Which also makes sense, arrowheads are aquatic and the heavy defense training is swimming. So he's doing well for himself, is more to the point. The usual strategy has simply been to let my enemies wear themselves out on the wall that is his head, and then use my higher guts stats to make up for any difference in dodging ability. So far, so good. It will definitely need to go up before Rock Lobster is all said and done, but for right now, it's cutting the mustard. Rock Geiger's already lost. I was expecting him to be the big rival, especially since we both have Rock at the start of our names, and yeah, I figured he'd have some kind of pride stake in that, but... Now, this is a little deceptive. He has very high intelligence for this rank in the game, but he only has, I think, 2 intelligence-based abilities. I think it's Oil Fire and then, yeah, Smoke Breath. That was a bit of a risk, but it worked out. Can't complain. Samber. Dang, Rock Geiger is just getting destroyed. Because he was in the Amity meet, I guess I expected him to be my rival, but no such luck. A lot of Golem subtypes. I think Zamber's Golem, isn't he? No, that might be Mono. Probably the most well-rounded enemy we've faced so far. I'm second-guessing myself. I'm not sure what subtype that is off the cuff. Zooms are not really my jam. I don't dislike Zooms, to be clear. They're good monsters, and I think they're a good starting point if someone wants a species that's, newcomer-friendly. But that being said, they're not my favorite. One good punch to the head. 2 good punches to the head. Yep, we're 3 for 3. Just imagine how heavy those claws would be if they're really solid stone. Oh, Rock Geiger made short work of him. Loranmo's having a much harder time of it. Alright, now it's my time to fight Loranmo. Had to stop and read the name again. Funny enough, our stat distribution is actually kind of similar, just mine's a better except for HP. I wonder if he'll start by using Tasty Banana. No? No. Great, he's a Gut Sapper. And that can be very annoying if I'm not careful. So I should probably hover towards the back. Bit of a calculated risk there. Now he'll use Tasty Banana, which basically doesn't work, and when it does, it barely does anything. Now I'm going to punch him. Boom. Of course, the last time I fought this guy, and I did, during the Crab Cup, funny enough, I was not able to knock him out. So that's just proof of how far Rock Lobster has come. Yes, I wanted to get the Crab Claw, and at first I did it for the meme, and then I actually looked up on Legend Cup what it does, and it's actually a fairly strong fusion item. That's a plus 50 to defense and skill for a fused monster, so that's pretty good. So whatever offspring Rock Lobster ends up having, will have that in their cap. I'll have to be careful. At high speed could be a legitimate problem because my accuracy is not what it could be. Seize on the opportunity. Oh, really glad I seized on that opportunity because that was most of my guts right there. Nicole or Nicoli or however you're supposed to say that. As I said before, Mew/Nyas are a high-risk, high-reward kind of creature. Oh, by the way, there are certain traits that different species can have. You'll see ones like Anger, which I believe doubles the next hit's damage. Guard, I believe, just ups his defense while it's active for a short time. The most frustrating one is, of course, Grit, which your enemy will pretty much always have and you never will. Because that's when your monster is knocked out and they get up again afterward, as if they were listening to Chumbawamba. Ha, nice. And when they invoke Grit, they get 1 HP and get back up again. And if you're fighting a high-speed monster, it can be particularly frustrating, especially as I believe the quality to get Grit is mostly in tanky monsters. I could be mistaken, I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it is. Another speed monster, but not as severe this time. I think we have this in hand. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Tank monsters dodging your attacks never ceases to be amusing to me. Well, that's 18 guts every time he's using that attack. Jeez. That's a big wind-up to whiff on. Zoom Punch. That's what it makes me think of. Alright, come on. We can knock him out if we just play a little safe. I probably could have Zoom Punched him right there and been done with it. I'm not letting you get off your next attack. By the way, if the game... No matter how fast you're pushing the button, if the game wants to get its attack before you, they will. And there's just nothing you can do about it. Alright. Well, Rock Geiger's getting his momentum. I guess he just had a slow start. Of course, no one has less than 2 losses except me, so if he does indeed somehow humble me in this last moment, it's not actually going to change anything. Oof, that did more damage than I expected it to. Rock Lobster's just like, not happening. Ooh, sent me tumbling. Zoom Punch. Yeah. Oof. Well, former ally to former rival, and now I am simply your better. I think I just had a whole shonen anime arc worth of character development in 2 different tournaments. But, yeah, we're B rank now. And because of this ridiculously high defenses, Rock Lobster would probably make a pretty decent showing in the B rank. I want to get his strength and accuracy up a little bit more, but, not bad. Not bad. Again, I'm playing somewhat conservatively because there's just so much more that I'm going to need to do. This is not the same as Monster Rancher 1. Some of the prereqs for unlocking can get fairly complicated. Yes, fame went up. Now, I did learn there is a mechanical impact on fame. It actually is part of the unlocks for expeditions. And if your fame's not high enough, they just won't show up. I think Rock Lobster learned a lesson in the tournament. Gained intelligence, though I don't know why. Skill is good. Yeah. Rock Lobster says, I want fish. You deserve fish. That's fine. If they ask for a item, a lot of the time the item has no mechanical property. But if they ask for something like food, like he just did, you'll actually gain the full benefit from it, and since he has a species proclivity towards both fish and tablets, that's greatly going to reduce the fatigue from that tournament. You may not even be tired. It's express mail from Ima. From Ima! Snek, this is it. Need your signature here. Sorry. Here you go. Good. Have a nice day. Here we go. Based on performance will grant you the rank mentioned on the right. I must authorize trainer rank 3rd rank. Said that once you achieve the 3rd rank, you're considered to be a professional. No, Colt, that is not what they say. It says that most ranchers plateau at B rank and never ever break through that particular wall. B rank is the hurdle that separates excellent ranchers from the also-rans. You made it to the first milestone. I guess you could say that. Who is it? You have mail. Who's it from? Look at this. It's probably a sale of some sort. Oh, that's a good idea. I don't think I've actually shown this on screen yet. Seems, well, yeah, after eating all that, I'm sure he's fine. Now, I mentioned this in the comments section, but I literally only learned this after I finished the first 2 episodes of the Let's Play. Nuts oil has a hidden secondary effect. It actually reduces stress by 20%, but only for monsters who have Arrowhead, Hinger, or Durahan genes. You have to unlock 2 of those breeds. So, odds are good. We should probably go for accuracy, but we may not get an attack. So I'm going to save scum this, because that is the sort of coward that I am. And if we cannot do that, we might do the defense or power or entry. Have you seen the notice? We're offering total cost 1,000. Your monster is higher than B rank, then you can go to any location you want. Go ahead, choose quick. Yeah, the Pappas Alps, Korea Volcano, which is a very important location for the series as a whole. Torble Sea, Pear Jungle, and Mandy Desert. So, we want skill. Seems there is some chance to acquire a new technique there. So we're going to try. Now, I forget if I mentioned this or not, but Cog and I, when we were little, thought that you were, like, selecting an enemy. No. This is just a collection of possible enemies that you can encounter. Now, because I'm B rank, that means the highest it can possibly go is A rank. So technically I could encounter any monster on this list, including ones like Silverface and Bloody Eye, which are technically special species variants. If I fight them and win, which for like Silverface and Bloody Eye probably wouldn't happen, I would actually get a special card. Now for the rest of these guys, they're just regular representatives of their species, so nothing special. So yeah, your rank generally dictates what you'll encounter. I don't think you're liable to encounter stuff that's greatly below your rank. But again, if you get an A or S rank, not only... Oh, there's another rock lobster out there. Not only does this guy, his name's Arrow, by the way, the old guy with the mustache, not only does he start being a little bit nicer, you get a nice cash prize, as listed here. Alright. Go, Rock Lobster, go. Now, this is weird, because in the PlayStation version, you would have a little thing that would show up just underneath the week and month, and it would tell you that you can skip the animation. Mechanically, that's still in the game. You can still skip these animations for a rantry. Now, the game doesn't tell you that, and I'm probably not getting a special attack, because usually it's the first week where you would be notified of such a thing. But I just got an accuracy move that... I mean, I still need the accuracy stat. I shouldn't complain. Generally, unlike Monster Rancher 1, where their entry was difficult, but very much a matter of if they succeed at one, they'll probably succeed at them all. That's not necessarily true. The difficulty actually goes up as you go. And loyalty appears to be the biggest factor playing into whether you succeed or fail. But monsters with 100 loyalty can still fail on part 4. It's not guaranteed. You'll just punch a shark in the face, and really, falling in the water wouldn't hurt him. He's an aquatic species. Most of his training has been swimming, so it's not like it's going to slow him down any. Ah, crab on crab combat. The only way this to get more ironic is if he succeeds and has to fight Silverface. I'll be honest, I never went out of my way for those cards. They're cool if you get them. Ah, KO. They're cool if you can get them. But in DX, the updated package, you can actually unlock those breeds to be raisable if you collect their species card by first defeating them on the Erantries. Now, it's random chance, and that's the thing that kind of sucks. You can't, like, go out of your way, or, like, it's not even like an expedition where if you went to a specific location, you would definitely encounter them, like in Monster Rancher Advance 2. Getting headbutted by a rock would... fail. Of course, you succeeded last time. Yeah. Sorry, buddy, but that was a terrible showing. Here's some tablets to take the edge off. You'll still be exhausted, because Erantry is just an exhausting experience. Yeah. But it's coming along. For a 3-year-old monster, this isn't terrible, and now that we've got him on the modified Never Tired method... Well, I think we have a ways to go before we can win at the official tournament. So, I'm going to jump ahead, and next time you see me, we'll be ready to either try the B Cup, or we'll die trying. See you there.